Can he bring things back? Spawning in the bottom left position of the map. That is Whirlwind. It is Axiom's Alicia. And spawning in the top right position as our blue Zerg player. Coming in for MVP. Man, he's killed 2 Terrans so far. Can he be defeated by a Protoss? We shall find out, for his name is MVP Sniper. I have to say, on this map, Protoss versus Zerg can be a bit daunting. Alicia already choosing to open up with the pylon in base. Could be some kind of gateway expand play. Could also just be a precautionary measure for a Nexus first, possibly anticipating an early pull from Sniper. Nothing 100% set in stone, though. We'll have to see based on the supply. The rally point is set out here, so it does look like this is going to be a gateway, and there it is from Alicia. So, pretty interesting decision to go with the fast gateway. In terms of options that it gives, Whirlwind is such a large map, especially with these cross spawns, that Sniper is going for this 15 pool. So if Sniper tries to do anything greedy, like a fast third hatchery, 2-base tech, then what some Protoss players have been doing is a double Zealot Stalker Chrono with the Mothership Core to put on a lot of pressure. And we actually see double gas now being taken for Alicia. So he's focusing a bit on this this early play. If you guys don't know too much about Alicia, actually made a pretty deep run in the 2012 MLGs. I can't remember exactly which one it was. It might have been Anaheim. We saw take a pretty sick game off of Marine King. So definitely a pretty heavy hitter for Axiom. And I had to say I'm a little bit surprised just how well and how much Sniper outperformed those 2 Terran players with his just fantastic decision making. He knew exactly how to deal with all the Widow Mines. Will he know exactly how to deal with the new tricks that the Protoss has up their sleeves? We could see something like Oracle play. There is the first Zealot coming out. Cybernetics Core will be done soon as well. And with the gas right now on the field for Alicia, he's going to have enough. He could get a Mothership Core and then a Stalker if he wanted to. I feel like it's going to be, Warp Gate and then probably just going to be a Stalker. Could be a Sentry and then just an Expand. And mostly that would just be solely so that he could get a lot of tech up. And now the Nexus is going to go, so it's just going to be a Gateway Expand. Could be, oh, it's going to be a Mothership Core. Very interesting. Not opting to go for an early Sentry. Just kind of playing it safe. And, well, there's a third hatchery actually up for Sniper, so doing the Gateway Expand really defensively, not going for too much aggression. He's going to send a probe out to scout, but he has to keep the Zealot at home because there's no Stalker or Sentry. Definitely a slightly interesting circumstance. This isn't super common in the current metagame if you guys keep in touch with GSL or Pro League. So I'm kind of curious to see where Alicia wants to take this. He's adding on a gateway or 2. Should be about a third gateway. Most Protoss players will move up to 4 gateways on 2 base. It's just a safe economic number. Warp Gate's about halfway done. What Alicia can do with this, the Warp Gate's going to be done at such a time that Alicia can actually put on a lot of pressure, though, to this third base. And I would really love to see him throw on a pylon. This Overlord, though, barely outside the vision of the Overlord. And this is just provides such a good opportunity for Alicia to get aggressive. The probe is ready. I would just love to see a pylon. The gateways are about to finish up. Warp Gate is about to complete as well. The Sentry is here to shove this Overlord away. Has the Zealot to block things off. No pylon, though. A couple Zerglings going to be sent trying to find this probe. Doesn't actually find it yet. Sniper's like, where'd you go? And we have our Solid Snake here just hiding in the corner. And there's that pylon. So this is where things can get a bit tricky. The Gateway Expand provides this really good aggressive opportunity, like I said earlier, versus the fast third hatchery build. And Sniper doesn't actually have any real tech out. Has the Zergling speed started? Is mining gas? Sure. We have a Roach Warren starting now, but that's not going to be in time to deal with this pressure. We have 2 Stalkers, a Zealot, and a Sentry coming up, and this should be enough to kill this third base off. If Alicia controls properly. There are all the Chrono Boosts running into these Warp Gates. The Pylon's getting poked away at, though. Alicia might lose his ability to reinforce, but he's actually going to bring in another Pylon, and Spinecrawler at the third is going to go down. The Zergling will die as well, and the Roach Warren's going to complete soon, but I don't think it's going to be before this hatchery gets killed. And a really, really nice timing here from Alicia. It's just so difficult. You know, if you don't scout the gateway expand and you go for this fast third hatchery, you're not going to have a good time. And the sentries are here to pinch off any of these units, try to run up as well. Zergling speed's not done yet. 2 roaches are coming out, and I feel like at this point, Sniper's going to make a lot of units to hold this push off. There's quite a bit of pressure from Alicia. The third hatchery will die, but Alicia's continuing to make probes. He's not completely all in with this. He does have the mothership core. And think about it this way. If Sniper gets enough units to kill this off, if Alicia thinks for 1 second, oh, I might be in trouble, recall. Boom. There's the time warp, though. Still enough energy for a recall on the mothership core. Going to go in and do a lot of damage here. These force fields really, really keeping these roaches isolated from each other. The Zealots getting some great hits on these Zerglings. And Alicia doing a ton of damage. But there might not actually be enough here for Sniper to kill this off. He's taken so much damage, and now more force fields being thrown in here. It looks like some of these Stalkers might die, but the points of reinforcement are so far away, it's going to be very difficult to get anything else up here. But Alicia has just done so much damage, but Sniper getting out 20 more Zerglings now. Zergling speed is done. Might just want to recall with these few units left, and he will. So back to the natural expansion. Managed to save a sentry and 2 Stalkers, which is a very, very nice save. Every unit is going to matter because we could have a very big counterattack come up from Sniper, but no, he's just going to get a lair. Equally interesting decision and retake the third base. So Sniper looks like he really wants to push for the late game in this ZVP. He does not want to go for a big counterattack. Kind of recognizes, okay, my opponent has a mothership core, my opponent has some sentries, but Sniper might be able to deny this third base, which would be pretty significant. It's a bit early in terms of metagame for when third bases get built, but the Nexus barely canceled, almost actually just killed off there. The sentries force use some force fields. This sentry almost gets blocked off as well, but gonna warp in some Zealots, and right now Alicia's big focus is to get that third base. If he can establish it sooner than later, I guess is the proper way to phrase it, then economically speaking, be on even footing. Looking at the worker count, 41 drones to 44 probes. We should see a big drone wave with this third hatchery completing soon. But Alicia's done more than enough. The third base isn't going to be up for the Zerg player until about 10:40. And this is about the time that you want to get a third Nexus down as a Protoss. And we actually have a Void Ray coming out as well. So Alicia, a second Stargate. Alicia looks like he wants to play for this air style. It's become pretty popular. Actually, just recently did a match. We had Creator Prime actually doing quite a bit of this style. A lot of Korean players favor the Phoenix opening, it seems, for now, but the Void Rage is getting more and more popular, and it's kind of interesting to see it this way. Using the Mothership Core to just poke away at these links, saying, get off my lawn. But the Hydralisk Den is completing, and Sniper could be going for a Hyun-esque style of this Ling Hydralisk composition, which can be very, very good against these builds with just the raw DPS of the Hydralisk. So you're basically making a ton of Hydras. But now the third Nexus is about halfway done for Alicia. Going to be able to get up that additional economy, +1 air weapon, so he is definitely preparing to move into a big Sky play, double Void Ray production. Actually, a third Stargate coming out now, so these Void Rays, it's actually so easy to max out on Void Rays now that they cost 4 supply, one of the changes in Heart of the Swarm. And these Zerglings for Sniper, they want to run in and do some damage, but they just can't. There's nothing there. Hallucinated Phoenix Scout for Alicia will see pretty much everything that he needs to see. Third base is just about accumulating some saturation now. And we have Hydralisks now stepping onto the field. So Sniper's got some Lings. I gotta say, though, with the number of force fields available, as this Void Ray count builds, I'm only liking Alicia's odds this game. Delaying that third base, killing it off when it's such an early investment for the Zerg player is so huge. It's so difficult for me to actually stress just how important that damage was. The supply would never be this close in a normal PvZ at this point. But here we are, and the Hydras are coming up, and now Alicia knows, okay, well, we've got Hydralisks on the field, but with force fields, and I feel like we should see a Twilight Council as well relatively soon. Once you get the Void Rays, the next part comes the Storm, the Archons, the tanky units, and your AoE damage. So Plasma Shield upgrade coming up as well for Alicia. And now the Hydralisks and Zerglings are moving towards the center of the field. Creep spread is pretty important when you're going with Hydralisk-based compositions, just because of how much of a boost they get. They move out as fast as Stim Marines when they're just walking on creep. Hydralisks, very, very, very quick units, but Void Ray count starting to accumulate a bit. Triple Void Ray production, not bad at all. Still no Twilight Council from Alicia, so it's basically going to be relying on Force Fields and the Void Rays to kill most everything. The Zealots and Sentries will get chewed up very quickly by the Hydralisks, so... I'm just trying to see if there's a timing here that Alicia might be trying to exploit. A lot of Roaches are being produced, and they'll be able to just kind of provide a buffer for the army while the Hydralisks deal the real damage. And this is just going to be so difficult, I feel, for Alicia to handle if Sniper pushes when he's maxed. And that's pretty much right now. The Void Rays are moving out, though. He does have a lot of sentries, but the problem is he's going to need to perfectly partition everything off for these Void Rays to be able to kill enough. And here, so many Hydralisks moving forward. He does have the recall available on this Mothership Core. The Hydras, he's going to force field a couple of them in. They're getting a lot of damage, but there's just so many of them. He cannot afford to take a straight-up fight right now. I just don't think that would be ideal. If he can keep cutting them into small chunks, though, this could be exactly what he needs. He's picking off a couple more of these Roaches. He's saving the Prismatic Alignment, realizes, hey, this doesn't actually work against the Hydralisks, so building up. And there's just so many Void Rays now. It's kind of getting... Now he's starting to reach that scary number of Voids. The Hydralisks, they have the +2 only now just starting. He's brought a lot of Queens, which isn't bad. The Queens do have 7 range for their anti-air attack. But it's just not something you would have seen too much prior to this, and it looks like it's going to be engaging here. Some great force fields from Alicia, just slicing and dicing Sniper's army, and now the Prismatic Alignment activated to deal with the Roaches, but there's all these links. Everything on the ground is just going to die so fast. Out of force field, he's going to have to take this fight, and is he going to actually have enough? The third base, he might just split off a lot of these units to kill that Nexus. It looks like that's what Sniper wants to do. Alicia being forced back into the natural, but now with the army kind of split up, there's so many Roaches and Lings that the Hydralisks aren't going to be able to do too much of these Void Rays, and oh my goodness, 17 Void Rays right here. The third Nexus is taking a lot of heat, but Alicia might be able to go and save that in time. Not even through all of the shields. He hasn't focused on the Nexus. The Warped and Zealots are getting a bit of the damage tanked. So Alicia saves the third base and kills that army off of Sniper. I feel like Alicia's going to go for a big counterattack and win this game. I don't really see any realistic way of Sniper pulling out a lot of units. He has a good bank, but what is he going to make to deal with this many Void Rays? Oh my goodness. So many. And still triple Void Ray production. A fourth base on the way now for Alicia. And Alicia's about to max. He's got pylons spread across the map. It's okay, you have some Zerglings, that's fine. You know, if you cancel my fourth base, I'm still going to kill everything else that you have. And there's the GG from Sniper. So Alicia taking the first game for Axiom in this best-of-9 series, going to bring the score to a 2-1 standstill of sorts, of course. So Axiom Gaming now securing its first win. But MVP still got a lot of great players left. Throw in a Super, of course, Dream. We've got, we had Monster as well last week against Quantic. Did quite a bit of damage, so we'll have to see, guys, who they're going to send out. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Acer TeamStory Cup. I'm your caster, Nathanias. And I hope you're all having a fantastic Thursday. It is Thursday. I lose track of the time with all this GSL that I watch. Man, staying up in the wee hours and then casting. But we'll get to the next game as soon as we can, guys. Don't go anywhere.